All right, hi everyone. Happy Lohri, or it's today's Lohri, but by the time you're watching this, will be belated Lohri. So yeah, if you can hear, I'm almost choking because everybody's burning everything that they can find, and it's not good. And well, that's how festivals are. So well, a lot of things are happening, not just Lohri. Third Test match really kicked up a lot of things even before third Test match started in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. It was just getting somewhere, and then third Test match really lived up to the billing. And it was one of the most interesting draws at the end. And now there was controversy about Brisbane or not. But as I said to you, Bikram, that push comes to shove, eventually they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll go. And then now they're crying over new problems there, which we'll talk about a little bit in the podcast. Now, I want to talk about something that it is right there in my head, which is after Steven Smith came out and he batted so well, and then there was some controversy which people have talked about, at least in India, and exaggerated to such level that it's just it's seriously embarrassing, because I already don't give a shit about human beings. I would rather be a koala, crocodile, a cucumber for that matter, because it is getting really embarrassing. And I spent around 7 minutes reading some comments on Steven Smith's video where he is scuffing the pitch. Sorry, not the pitch, but where the guard area. Yeah, the crease. And I saw a lot of comments, and I just feel like all these people are the same people who actually, call a woman a whore who is actually breastfeeding in public. So, and that's exactly how I feel about this. I think mostly which we talk about that, people have never really played cricket who are actually called themselves cricket fans. And I can tell you 99.9% these people are talking right now, they have never actually taken a guard in their life. Because anybody who's never played with a season ball probably never needs to take any guard, not a serious guard ever. And people don't know how this works. They don't understand how drinks break works, because when the drinks break happen, people come in, they put a lot of paint, they start sweeping, and then when you come back, just to let everybody know that if you're going on a drinks break, when you come back, you're gonna take another guard anyway. So it's not like you're just gonna stand there. Oh I didn't see my guard. Like, this is like, oh, somebody changed my guard. This just happened. So when I first saw it, I mean, instantly when somebody just put it out there, I wasn't actually thinking much. I was like, that seems silly. Like, is he scruffing his guard because then he has to take the guard again? So, but then the way it's been exaggerated, like, oh, you should ban him, fine him, other thing. So I've read a comment, people said he should be banned for 1 year, just exactly the same way. And except that Harsha Bhogle said that, first of all, anybody who's going to come back, he said, even I played like the lowest form of cricket, but when you come back, you obviously gonna look for your guard, and if you don't see it, you'll obviously take it again. That's just common sense. And the fact is that scruffing pitch and scruffing the crease area is completely different. Crease is already scruffed. You can just keep kicking it all the time. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with crease. And also, even just shadow batting, people need to understand, anybody who already doesn't have hate for Steven Smith in their heart and actually can just think like, just neutral person, then they would remember what one reason they remember Steven Smith for. Also try to remember all the videos that you've seen of Steven Smith in the shower with a bat, in his bed with a bat, everywhere with a bat. Okay, this guy's crazy. Okay, so, and also you're shadow batting as a left-hander. What he's also like, see, he's not even thinking. That's the deal. But if I have to analyze what he's doing, because Rishabh Pant is batting, that's why he was shadow batting left-handed. So as like a fielder or player, he just try to figure out what is going on, where the ball will pitch, what will happen. Just trying to figure out all those things naturally. So I feel a little bit embarrassed, at least definitely by all the bias that has come through. I listened to one guy who was some official guy from a channel and actually making a big stink out of it, and who has probably never even held a bat himself, doesn't understand, saying he's scruffing the pitch or some shit like that. It's like, it just beggars belief. And I think I'm going to be like, I don't know if you heard Justin Langer speak for like 30 seconds. He was like, this is just the biggest load of bullcrap that I've ever heard in my life. But I agree with the fact that if people have not played cricket and people who already hate Steven Smith or people already think Australians are cheat, then it's very easy to come to conclusion, because when you look at the thing, it's very nuanced and it just looks like, to be very honest, it looks very stupid. But even just on the face value, even if you don't want to take my word for it, on the face value, what happens is even if he did scruff up deliberately, all Rishabh Pant has to do is take his guard again, which he would have done anyway when he coming back after the drinks break. So it's not really a big deal. Okay? And that part of the pitch where you stand, that's already scruffed up. You can keep scruffing up because the ball never pitches there. If the ball is pitching there, it's a Yorker. You're going to get bowled. So it doesn't matter. The ball is never going to spin from that point because you're practically standing there. So yeah, nothing, there's no advantage in that except probably another 5 seconds that maybe somebody has to take the guard again, which I would say would have taken again, because whenever I've played cricket, if I've left the field, I just take the guard again, because I mean I've not played much cricket, but whenever I've played, I would take the guard again. That's just common sense, because you whenever you come back, in fact you see a lot of players like Tendulkar and all, they keep taking guard every over, even they take off their gloves. I see them constantly taking the guard again. That's just the quirkiness of people. Yeah. So like Chandrapal, like who just stands so far away, is like, where's the guard? Doesn't matter. Like, I need seventh stump guard. Like, or the 35-year-old Pakistani player who's just finally come back, Fawad Alam, I believe. So he also plays like that. All right. So apart from the long rant, Steven Smith came back to form as we expected. Eventually he will. And then he got out somehow in the second innings. He was man of the match, obviously. I was checking who were the man of the match. So that happened.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, well, I want to talk about briefly what the predictions we made, that Rishabh Pant and Rohit Sharma. I said, like, I'm nobody to question their batting talent, because Rishabh Pant, all I'm questioning is their commitment to fitness, and I just feel they feel they're just too big. Rohit Sharma is a generational talent, and that's why I feel so bad for Rohit Sharma, because somehow I just feel Rohit Sharma doesn't understand who he is, and these things shouldn't ever be spoken about, because you never hear anything like this about Hardik Pandya or Virat Kohli or Ravindra Jadeja. I mean, I don't know what to talk about Ravindra Jadeja. The guy has been absolutely phenomenal. Even with his broken thumb, the guy was ready to come on to bat, and he would have come on to bat. This is like all the way back to the 70s West Indies situation right now. So those are a few points. I don't want to take up the entire time, so I just want to I'll ask you to speak whatever's on your mind.
I think Steven Smith episode was blown out of proportion, like anything related to India and Australia encounters. And then I think we predicted that it will be very close, right? I think we said that it's 65-35 or 60-40 in favor of Australia, and it almost looked like that, especially with the injury with Jadeja. But then something incredible happened, which never happens, which rarely happens, right? I mean, it's very rare that a team bats for so long, and after their top order and the middle order has already gone back. But yeah, that I think that sometimes when you get injuries, you tend to focus more, and I think that's what happened with both Vihari and Ashwin and Ayak. I'm talking about the fifth day where they batted for, I think, how many? 264 balls. And,
something like that.
Yeah, and then Tim Payne also dropped catches at crucial moments. Yeah.
He dropped him at 3. He was on 3. Rishabh Pant on 3 when the first catch was dropped, by the way.
Yeah.
So that could have completely changed the complexion of the match.
Yeah, and I think this has been the trend with this test series, that whichever team drops less number of catches, they tend to win. And that's what happened in the first two matches. And this match, both teams dropped catches, so nobody won. So
of course, we predicted. I predicted that the moment you're going to put Rohit Sharma in the slips, he's going to drop a catch, and he did drop a catch. We predicted Pant will drop catches. He dropped 2 catches. Then he didn't have to keep in the second innings, because they found the perfect solution of the longest running debate: Pant or Saha. So like, let Pant bat and let Saha keep. So that worked out very well in India's favor. So whenever India does something like that, and I can assure you right now, because we're looking for the sentiment, because we're in India. If same thing would have happened to Australian situation, if Australia had a Pant who cannot keep, and they had their Tim Payne. So, for example, Tim Payne can't bat that well, right?
Right.
If they had Adam Gilchrist kind of player, which is more Pant-like, and Adam Gilchrist comes out to bat, and then Tim Payne comes out to keep, notwithstanding what happened yesterday, a couple of days ago, because that was his, as he said himself, that worst day of his pretty much career, that he's never dropped that many catches in his life, that he dropped in the same day, and he made a fool of himself. But if that Australia had done that, they would have gotten a lot of flack for it, and people need to give credit to Australia that they did not, bring up a storm over that. But obviously they did talk about it a little bit, but then they just said let it be. But they just pointed to the fact that this has happened. Otherwise, you can kick up a storm as well.
Yeah, and I think these things are never, these things never come out of the dressing room, right? Because even this Steve Smith issue, this has been going viral due to several videos circulating in the social media. In fact, even
and people's lack of understanding of what is happening. They just feel like, oh, he's just like, this is exactly the same as as ball tampering or something.
And actually I was watching, as you said, that the first impression feels like it's something which he should not have done, right? And because you are just watching that 10-second clip out of context. It just feels like
he's deliberately doing it. But when I start thinking about Steven Smith and what is happening, I just realize he's not even thinking. He's just
and there were I was following on the social media, so there were so many English supporters who were bashing him because they really hate him.
English. They just hate. So it's like same people, people who just following everywhere.
Yeah, so it's just the same. I mean, obviously there were a lot of Indians who were saying that, including myself. In fact, I also retweeted that video on Twitter. But then when you think about it, it's nothing, right? He was not even running on the pitch because if you see it for the first time, it feels like he's just deliberately trying to rough up the pitch. But then if you watch it 2-3 times and then you think about it, it's nothing, right? A lot of people would be doing that.
It's nothing. So, and apparently he does it. It's just that, as Tim Payne was saying, if you really go back to find the footage, you will see him doing it several times. And by the way, if you listen to Tim Payne, and obviously nobody in India will be like, oh, Tim Payne, you're just trying to justify. But what he's trying to say is, he's saying, he does this multiple times. You can see the video. It's not the first time. He pretty much does it a lot of times. He said I've seen him do 5 times in a test match. And also he said if this was really a big deal, India would have kicked up a storm right now.
Correct.
Yeah. And also I just listened to Rahane, and somebody asked him this question, the journalist. He said, what do you think about that? He just starts smiling. He's like, I have not even seen it. Like, I don't know.
It was the end of the test match press conference. There it was asked.
Yeah, he was just smiling about it. So this is serious. He won't be smiling about it, right? He was just he was chuckling. He was like, I don't know. It just seems stupid. Like, okay, that's what I felt. Somebody asked me. I said I would deem it as childish if he's done it deliberately, because this is not cheating. That's just childish. Because if he's doing it deliberately, because now he's just to messing with people's head, which is kind of normal. And also I think I've heard so many people in India saying, and even newspaper also saying, that Tim Payne is apologizing for his behavior against verbal altercation with Ashwin. By the way, if you really listen to it, people don't. First of all, I think he's speaking in Australian English, so people don't understand. I've listened to it multiple times. Because somebody said this to me, he apologized. I told him off, it was nitwit. I told him off, he's not apologizing for it. He's apologizing for his bad keeping.
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
For bad captaincy. So, and he's like, no, but everybody's saying, and I read in the newspaper also, so I listened to him again.
Yeah.
So this is there's subtleties. If you listen to him, he's saying, I am not proud of how it happened. This is my worst day. I apologize to him. He is not apologizing for what he said to Ashwin. He's just saying that, that's avoidable and stuff, and I was very upset and other things. And he said, I made myself look like a fool. No, he made himself look like a fool. He's saying because he dropped the fucking catch right after that.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying, not what he was saying to Ashwin. And what he was saying to Ashwin, which he's obviously not very happy about it, because he's just he's saying trying to water down things, but he's not apologizing for it. He's like, I shouldn't have said it and all that, but he's apologizing for his bad keeping and bad captaincy that day, which really let them down, and that was the difference. They could have easily won the match if Pant had gotten out in 3.
Yeah.
So that happened, but those things happen. Let me see what else I've got. I've got few things actually. Okay, let me just rattle through this list of injuries. which is not. I've got a newspaper in my hand. So Mayank Agarwal is also injured, wasn't even playing, so he's injured. Cheteshwar Pujara is injured. Hanuma Vihari is injured. KL Rahul is injured. Ravindra Jadeja injured. Rishabh Pant is injured. R Ashwin is injured. Bumrah, Shami Yadav. So this is actually number 12 people are injured, including, and then we're not even including Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Ishant Sharma, and Kohli, who just gave birth to a baby girl. But just to let you know, Bikram, you will be surprised. I'll be giving you two options. Apart from Rahul Dravid and Tendulkar, who are coming out of retirement, there is a right now. I've got a tweet from Prithvi. He's like, "I am fit. I am fit. I had a lot of dumplings and I'm very fit. I've not done anything." So Prithvi is like, "I'm fit. What about me?" And not the surprise. I've kept it for the last. Just yesterday, I read in the newspaper, 37-year-old Sreesanth is back.
Yeah.
He's like, "Can I play? Can I play?" Like, what is happening here? So there are a lot of fit players all over the place. But have you ever seen anybody? This feels like a boxing match that all Indian team is so injured. So I want to hear, people must be like, "Oh, before that, whatever I said, if people have made it till here, people are like, "Oh, he loves Australia and everything." I said, like, yeah, I definitely love, but I try to be as fair as possible. I want to give a lot of credit to India, because I have never seen an Indian team fight this hard the way they fought in this particular test match, and not just this test match, but whatever happened in the first two matches, all the injuries and all the injuries during this match as well. Because one thing people need to understand, that I think Australia went all out. I mean, they were just like they were really bad. Like, they were like really bad, as in like they didn't give a shit. Like, they were really going all out. And India just survived. I do not know how they survived. These guys were going to kill them, but they were there to kill them. But they survived, because when people are saying like Mitchell Starc wasn't bowling well, even Mitchell Starc was bowling so many deliveries, we will take wickets, but just was not happening for them. And then also catches were getting dropped. So a lot of kudos to these people. That was just brilliant. Also, one more thing which people, as I said, like most of people who watch cricket don't understand cricket. So they were like, "Oh, India could have just won the match if they had few more overs and everything." Also, people need to understand that the whole reason India was chasing that total was because of sportsmanship and all the blames of gamesmanship against Smith and Payne, which have been levied. The whole reason India could have won the match was because Australia was such sportsmen that they actually declared, because the way Australia was playing and India was dropping every catch, Tim Payne could have stayed and made a century. Because that's another thing that people are leveling against Payne. "Oh yeah, Ashwin has more century than you, Payne, because Payne hasn't scored a century." But that's not how Australia plays. Australia comes out to win, and at the same time said that Australia had 130 odd overs to win. And India stopped Australia on like the 4th, 5th day pitch. That is just crazy, because and half the people injured, people on painkillers and stuff and coming in. So, I mean, it was just a crazy match. And I think when people say like, you play for 5 days and it's a draw, what's the point? This is the point, that you get 5 days instead of 3. And every time I was watching the match, I was so distracted during work hours. I was like, dude, man, this is just so distracting. What can happen? I was like, even 5 overs left, what if somebody gets out? Then suddenly, you bring like Nathan Lyon, you get like Mitchell Starc bowling Yorkers and everything, and suddenly you just gone. Or maybe Hazelwood bowls the same line and destroys you or something, or Cummins does something. You can't be sure. In fact, they actually they only did not play the last over. They still made Starc bowl, and it was still looking like a wicket can fall down till the last over. You never know what will happen. We don't know what was Jadeja doing, and then a lot of weird players we have, right? Who can't bat at all. So it was very scary, but it was one hell of a match. I was just very happy during that. So do you want to talk a little bit about the whole racism incident? Because I am going to play the devil's advocate later, but yeah, I would just want your view on that first.
Yeah, I think these things happen all the time. I think Virat Kohli even tweeted that this has happened with him, and he obviously, took the matters in his hand and showed the middle finger. But yeah, I think these things happened, and these things happened in India as well. So a lot of people are saying that, oh, this is how Australians were. I mean, Australians are. They make fun of people's color, and in fact, even Tim Payne was making fun of Indian accent during the match. Something like that was happening. But that's correct. That's how people are. But we keep forgetting that we also do the same when they come here, right? And I've just watched one match, one test match where Australia was involved in Bangalore. So there also I've seen people making fun of Renshaw's name, right? Matt Renshaw, who was the opening batsman during that series, 2000. What was it? 2017, I think. So
17,
that
yes.
yeah. So you went to see the fourth match, which ended.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ajinkya Rahane's captaincy.
Yeah. So I remember during that match also people were making fun of his name because his name sounds like rickshaw. So they were calling him rickshaw, and that guy was thinking, oh, they're fans and they're calling my name and it's cute that they're mispronouncing my name, something like that I think he was thinking. But that's how people behave, right? And that's how people behave everywhere. And obviously whatever was said, this will never come out, we'll never know. And this will, but then again, like the Smith episode, this was blown out of proportion because you get a lot of jokers, a lot of people with who are very insensitive, those kind of people. Because Siraj was, as you said, was already on edge. His father had died. He had not seen him during his last rites. So yeah, I mean, these things, if you try to bully someone who is already mentally unstable, they can break, right? So really feel for him. But again, I think in media these things were blown out of proportion, because there will be people like that all over the world, right? It's not just Australia or England or South Africa or New Zealand. People in Southeast Asia, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, people speak a lot of shit about the players in front of them. It's just that they don't understand. So that's
fair enough. So I think as I said, I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit. Obviously you were more like a soft devil's advocate. I don't want to get into the whole racism thing. First of all, like, who is more racist? You know my opinion that I have done a lot of very long studies, and every study proves that my country is like so high on racism that in the same building I can see multiple levels of racism. So let's not talk about that. And I personally, because at least I'm one person that when we do this podcast, at least I get the benefit out of the fact that I've lived in both the countries properly, this hellhole and that hellhole. So let's just be okay. I think I had actually forgotten that Siraj's father had passed away, and I think now that kind of adds even more weight to my argument that I was saying. So I've listened to this recordings, whatever they had, or the video, whatever they're saying. I think I've seen multiple of them. I have not found anything. It just I keep listening to this thing. They keep calling him Shiraz, like the wine. And they keep like Shiraz. And they seem to be very fucking annoying because if I am like sensitive or vulnerable and I can't take heat, and people need to understand this is the first time he's come out. Not only first time, he's first time playing for India in a real match, because T20 and everything else is different. The stakes are never that high. Nobody cares. People forget this shit. Like, just completely forget it. We have already forgotten the one-day internationals. We've already forgotten the T20. Okay. But this shit we will remember. And that is an indicator. It's like when you date so many women, right? But you only remember 2 women or whatever in your life. That's how it is. But you really go back, you're like, oh, that girl I dated for like a week, but she was very pretty. But then you've forgotten her. So that's what it is like. This is like pretty stuff. Anyway, without wasting time, for me, what happened, like, first of all, there's no evidence what exactly was said. Nobody seems to be saying what exactly was said. If Shiraz is upset, they just want to appease him, because also another thing I'm going to come right out with it, elephant in the room, he's minority. Right now, if you're a minority, you can say any shit to white people, okay? People can chase after Stephen Smith for calling him a cheat. The fact that people always forget that, first of all, he never cheated. Only thing he did was he was stupid enough to let it happen in the first place. Who cheated was somebody else, including David Warner and another person whose name I don't want to keep taking right now. So
Bancroft.
I didn't want to take his name. So his name has Bancroft in it. Okay. So
yeah.
see. So he's not even the team. So why should you actually name somebody like who's probably can come up later and then give people more footage for it? Now, the fact is, I have not understood what exactly was said to this thing. Says this guy, he's just upset. He has the right to be upset. I'm not saying his right to upset is not there. The fact is that because he pushed, and because India is BCCI, India is the biggest dog in this cricket, they had to take an action. They kicked 6 people out. It's not clear why they kicked them out because nothing was ever proven. I think they were heckling him. They should have been pushed to the upper aisle. So I told them to shut the fuck up because this guy is sensitive. Stop fucking with him because he's not able to take it. Can you just let go? Just let go. Or we're gonna ask you to leave. Can you let go of this shit? So this should have happened instead of calling them racist. Because 2 things I don't want to call people is racist and rapist. Because I will call people retard, cunts, bastards. Our name is bastard. Like our fucking podcast name is bastard. Doesn't matter anything. But don't call people racist and rapists because those are serious charges that you're levying against people. Okay, they can be also. There's probably no black and white between rapists, but there's a lot of black and white in racists because there could be a racist remark. If you do not know any better, you might say something. People might feel offended because of that. But a remark can be racist. We don't even know what these people said to this guy. I don't think those people are racist until proven otherwise, first of all. And I think it was really harsh, and I hope they don't get banned unless it's been proven that they said something which was genuinely racist and they knew exactly what the fuck they were talking about. They were all adults, so I'm not going to give them benefit of doubt there. And the saga went on for I think 2 days, so I'm pretty sure something went wrong. But why somebody was picking specifically on Shiraz only? But I know people, that some people are just more sensitive. I think it is his right to complain about it if he is not able to take it. But the fact that calling people racist just because Shiraz kicked up a storm and Virat Kohli decided to show them the middle finger. So it just seems like however you decide. It's like same like football. If somebody trips you, if you fall down, then it's a penalty. If you don't fall down, you're like, okay, I can take this. It's not a penalty. That's the drama that's been going on right now in football because of VAR. Now they say like if you touch it, and because no way you can know how hard it was, right? As long as the touch is there and you fall down, then it's fine. But if you don't fall down, the referee will be like, oh, it seems okay because now everybody's falling down. So it's like, okay, he didn't fall down, so it must not be. But if you fall down, then they have to give a penalty. So it's just a very weird situation. So for me, I don't think I will still give them benefit of doubt. All those 6 people who were kicked out, I think that was harsh. And they were heckling him, which was very clear. But there's a difference between heckling and being racist, because and that difference to me is not a fine line. That's a very clear line to me. So I just want to say that Shiraz, he needs to develop a thick skin, because people who are hecklers, banter, racist, all this stuff is going to happen more and more. Okay, just not going to get disappeared. Okay, he needs to understand that. He needs to create a thick skin, and also if there's a genuine problem, he needs to just kick up a storm as well at the same time, because that's fair. But just please be very clear, because again, I'm going to say another thing. People are like, oh, you just don't like him or something. I was like, I've never heard Shiraz speak in English in the first place. And also Australian accent, God knows what the hell they were saying. I don't know what he was understanding, what was going on. But they were definitely heckling him, and he was really bothered. That's what was happening. So I just wanted him to say, other people, that they were heckling him, not passing racist comments, because all I can hear is Shiraz, Shiraz, Shiraz. And this is the way they're going on. It's really annoying. I can tell you this thing. Genuinely annoying. Like if I'm I've been my first tour, and my father recently passed away and everything. So I would probably be sensitive, and I can understand that. So I think whatever Shiraz did was fair, but I just feel like, again, blown out of proportion completely from that point of view. Now, next match is starting very quickly. Unlike the last few matches, just took a lot of time. And now they're talking about, first of all, we're not going to go to Brisbane, we don't want hard quarantine. So when they agreed, Australia took away even more privileges. They're like, okay, there's no housekeeping also. There's no housekeeping. And these are rich Indian people, man. Even poor Indian people don't do their housekeeping. These people are, the only thing they seem to be upset about is housekeeping. Because it just shows it shows our class system. It's like they're not worried about anything else. They just want somebody to clean their sheets and wash their toilet. People are like, we have to wash our own toilets or what? Dude, how many days are you going to be there in that 5-star hotel? Do you really think the toilet is going to get that dirty? You're going to be like, And it's not a big deal, like, because Aussies won't complain about it. Aussies doing the same thing. Nobody's doing anything different particularly. Also, by the way, that's how India wanted it, because they need to avoid few things, so they need to come back to India directly. And because
be in a
the
bubble,
series with England is also, they don't have to drop the bubble. So that's why India actually demanded all these things, but they didn't realize that they will take away the housekeeping also. But that's a genuine reason they're taking away housekeeping, because just to make sure that they remain as safe as possible. From the COVID testing point of view, because obviously they are very safe, but even if the radar says, like, you are, then you have COVID, then they have to quarantine for like certain days, and that just kind of jeopardizes their series after that, because that's what's happening in football. Most of the people have, like, don't feel anything, they just have to quarantine. I mean, you only have to go back to Ronaldo's rant on Twitter, on his Instagram and everything, once he could not play that Champions League match when he was going to play against Lionel Messi after such a long time. And he was just commenting, ranting about how the PCR test sucks and they're like all frauds. And he's like, how fit he is. He's like fitter than God or something, which is true actually. And then he came back and scored like 2 goals within like 30 minutes. He's like, see, these people don't let me play. I'm like super fit.
Yeah, this is happening everywhere. Even in badminton, there is some. I think Thailand Open is happening now. And
they were like, I have the paper with me. They're like, they test negative in the morning, positive in the evening. At brunch, there's like inconsequential. It's just bizarre stuff is happening. I have K. Shrikant's picture. He's showing like how much blood they've taken from his nose.
He's bleeding from the nose.
Oh yeah, that's another exaggeration. Like, another exaggeration that people do. Yeah, you're just bleeding from the nose. Oh my God, you're gonna die or something. I don't even know what that even means. Like, that just seems grotesque
when they
to me.
took the test, I think they took it in a way that he started bleeding. Like, if you they put the thing in the nose, right? So I think that's what happened. Okay.
Terrible stuff happens to people. So Brisbane, what is going to happen in Brisbane? Because there's going to be some rain. Let's not talk about some rain. Mostly it's going to be fine, but there'll be probably some rain here and there. So people are hoping that one thing people are saying, the Australians are not tired thanks to too much bowling they had to do on the last day. Do you think that's going to be a factor at all?
If they have to bowl again, that could be a issue, because again there's hard quarantine and everything, so I don't think they have had enough time to relax because it's not a normal situation. So if they have to,
because they can't go to the pools and everything, they can't do massages and everything, I suppose.
Correct. So if they have to bowl again, I mean, if they have to bowl, if India wins the toss, or because I am pretty sure that if Australia wins the toss, they will bat, they will not bowl. So, but if they have to bowl again, that could be a problem. We never know. But I think their bowlers are quite fit.
I think so.
I think only Stark might have an issue. Not sure, because he has been the one who gets injured a lot. So, but he hasn't
bowled that much, right? Because he's been bowling less, because they've been getting
short bursts.
The other two bowl a lot more. So I think he's going to be... See, I think the fact that it's a definite factor that, because they had to bowl so many overs and there's a short break. But I also believe that so one thing you said, they're super fit. Other thing is, it's the last match. It's like they have to take a break. And, it's like an adrenaline thing. You just come out and just like, I'm just going to bowl my heart out. Because Mitchell Starc did not have to bowl towards the end, right? But he did. Because he said, like, I haven't even taken a wicket. I need to bowl. And he started bowling much better towards the end. And he was really, really threatening, because he didn't look threatening in the earlier part of the inning. But when he was bowling at the end, and he kept bowling till the end, he looked very threatening. And obviously Tim Paine also dropped a catch, and he was looking very good. So he just wanted to bowl and just get some, mileage in. Otherwise, they could have gotten Steven Smith, Labuschagne, and everybody to bowl, but they didn't. And when it comes to Lyon, when it comes to spinners, like Lyon, like these are the people, they were like, I can bowl 50 overs as long as I get some wickets. I'm happy to bowl. Because they will bowl. They just love bowling. Because that's what I've seen with spinners who love it. Like, they just keep bowling. They're like, that won't be a concern.
Correct.
I hope it doesn't rain much. The weather is... I was just reading in the newspaper, so I checked it out on my app. It says there could be some rain on Saturday and little on Sunday, Monday and all. But it doesn't seem very ominous. And we should be okay. Because I don't think the test match is going to go to the 5 days like this one. So it won't be much of a concern. In that regard, a lot of different So yeah, it's gonna be it's one hell of a series. This I did not expect. I think India has performed. Before I did think Australia had underperformed, but in this match, I think India just kept standing up. Whenever they were falling down, they kept standing up, and Australia had 130 overs. I mean, and they bowled well as well. Like so, just completely India just did something miraculous because once I knew that. Who knew Pant will actually play that well, and you knew Jadeja had a broken thumb. He couldn't even apparently peel a banana or something. That's what people were like, who couldn't even peel a banana? Seni was peeling a banana for him or something. I was like,
shown,
yeah, so sentimental stuff. I love it. So that happened, and one thing I want to say, people have been praising Rahane a lot, which is fair enough. But what this thing happened, the way India played here, this is not Rahane's team. This is Virat Kohli's team. This is what Virat Kohli has instilled in them over the years. This is not, Rahane would be like, chill man, don't worry about it. So this is Rahane's team. This is not Rahane's team. This is Virat Kohli's team. How he got the draw was Virat Kohli's team, that we never give up. We just keep trying. They can kill us, but we're going to stay on the pitch. So that's another thing people forget, that, just because Rahane is there, he's the captain right now. This is not Rahane's work. This is Virat Kohli's work. And that's what Virat Kohli has changed in Indian cricket, that, we're going to fight. The killer instinct that we lacked. And that has happened here, that everybody just comes out, even the new people. They're like warriors. They just want to say, yeah, you can beat us, we can bruise us, but we're not going to go down. And we're going to try our best. Sometime you're going to get out on 36. It's all right. Shit happens. But it's how you come back. It's like the Rocky Balboa shit. Like every time they do this, they watch Rocky 4, Rocky 5. And they're like, come on, Sylvester. So like Sylvester, they just keep coming back. They just never give up. And Rohit Sharma and... By the way, they can't select Pant right now, right? Because he can't keep. So they can't...
I think they can select him as a batsman. It's better than selecting that guy, Prithvi. Because they don't have any other option, right?
If Mayank is also injured, I don't know what his situation is.
Mayank is also injured. So they'll have to select either Prithvi or go with Pant as a batsman, specialist batsman. So I think that's what they'll have to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because as long as he's able to field, should be okay. I don't know where he will field. As long as non-catching positions are fine.
Correct.
Let's see, because he's not even able to catch with his gloves on. So that will be difficult. But the number of injuries that we have in this thing is just absolutely crazy.
Correct.
It's unbelievable. So it's going to be, what are you saying, 65, 35 again, or just less?
No, this time it's less, because, come on, even Bumrah is injured now, so I know Bumrah
Bumrah is injured. Oh my God, it's gone crazy, man. It's going crazy.
So, I know Bumrah didn't take many wickets, but he puts pressure, right? So, and he takes wickets at very crucial moments. He's Bumrah, right? He's the number one bowler we have right now. So even he's injured. Probably Ashwin is also injured. He'll not be able to play. So we almost are looking at a team A. Those complementary teams which travel with the main team to play the practice matches and everything. So it's almost like that, because you don't have the original captain, you don't have the openers, you don't have the the main bowlers. All the main bowlers are injured now. If Ashwin also gets injured, all the main bowlers are injured. So yeah, I don't see India winning this one, or even drawing like the last match, because it's just the surface is very different, right? The Sydney one was very benign, and I think even Steven Smith came out and said the same thing, that it was very benign and it was difficult to take wickets, and everyone scored runs on in that test match.
Yeah, weirdly, it was also difficult to score quickly on that pitch unless you're like completely set, because you can actually have tactics. But yeah, from a batting point of view, as long as you're a good batsman, you should be able to bat. No second thoughts about that. So I don't even know which players are left now for India.
I think it's very straightforward.
They will have another new bowler. Another new bowler will come.
I think they're going to select this guy, what's his name, who was playing in the one days, Shardul Thakur, I think, because I just saw a picture where Ravi Shastri was standing with him inside the ground, so probably they might play him. because the other guy is T. Natarajan, who has just debuted in the one days. In the T20s. So yeah, I don't see him playing, but it just comes. What happens on that day, because you never know if someone else might get injured again. So and they also have
Yeah,
to.
it's getting crazy. Natarajan is there.
Natarajan
Kuldeep
is there.
Yadav is there.
So Kuldeep, yeah, I think if Ashwin is not fit, or even if he's not 100, because see, it's not about just this match. If he's not fit, they will lose him in the middle of the match. So anyway, we'll lose the match. So it's better to rest him and be ready for the next series. So I think, I think Kuldeep will get a game, and either Natarajan or Shardul Thakur will get a game, and rest of the team should remain the same. As I said, that I think Saha and Pant both will play, with the Pant playing as a specialist batsman. So I think that's what is going to happen, because the openers will remain the same. There's no other option since Mayank also got injured. So in the middle order, in place of Vihari, I think Pant will play, unless they again take Prithvi, which I really don't think they will. Unless Pant is also so injured that he can't play the whole 5 days. So yeah, that's what I think. And as for the result, I think I'll be very surprised that if India even manages to draw the test match. Draw is not an option anyway. But winning,
because Australia has all their bowlers intact, and all the batsmen are just like, everybody seems to be peaking.
They all made runs. They all made runs, and we don't have the bowlers as well who can take their wickets. So I mean, I am not anything against any of the bowlers, but they just are inexperienced, right? So
they just started. Like Australia is like Australia's weakest bowler right now seems like Mitchell Stark, and like if we could just we could sell 3 players to Mitchell Stark. It's like we will take him any day, right? You're like, okay, Mitchell, can we just take you, and their weakest bowler seems so strong. Like it's funny because all their bowlers are there. Like they just and then Cameron Green is also there, who can bowl really well. He hasn't taken a wicket, but it's like it happens in a bunch, right? You get a wicket, then you suddenly take 2 wickets, and then 2 wickets. If Green takes 1 or 2 wickets, that's anyway more than enough for Australia.
And Australia has not lost any test match in Brisbane, so that's also a statistic.
Oh yeah, that's another thing, right? It's another Brisbane statistic that they're going to be winning completely. So it looks like completely in Australia's favor. So what are you saying?
80-20. So
I'm checking the odds online. They have like online odds. 80-20 seems logical.
Yeah, because I mean it's just an unfortunate situation. It's nothing against Indian team or the players who will be playing, but it just there is no one, right? There's no one. At least in the batting side, it's still fine, but on the bowling side, it's not happening. And to win a test match, more than your batsmen, you need the bowlers, right? So that's unless someone does something very special, which can also happen, right? This happened in the last test match, but I feel that Australians are clear favorite this time.
So on the betting sheet, they're saying they'll pay 1.45 for Australia. So if you put $1, you get 1.45, so 45 cents on $1. They have a draw for, like, if you pitch on draw, then they give you 4.25. That means for $1 you get 4.25. So they're not really banking on a draw. But if you put on India, they're giving you $7.50 for every dollar. So that's a lot of money. Right. That's a lot of money, That's a lot of money. So 45 cents for Australia, but $6.50 for India. So that's extra. So on the dollar that you put. So that clearly shows you, that's pretty much, we're looking at 13 times right now. So
because Bumrah was the biggest loss. I mean, there's no one, right? Even this match, we were struggling to take the 10 wickets, obviously because Jadeja was also injured, and Jadeja took the most wickets in the first innings. So
he got everybody run out also. Like Jadeja was doing everything. He also never got out.
He also never got out.
So it's just crazy.
So yeah, I mean,
I-
again, see, there's one thing which can work for India is because it's that the Brisbane pitch is suitable for the fast bowlers. So maybe Siraj has also played few matches, and Saini just debuted, and then whoever comes new, they would be an unknown quantity at least for in the Test arena. So this can maybe trigger something, for because Australian batting lineup is still fragile. I know they scored many runs, but that was Sydney, and again, first innings they didn't score much, right? It was mostly just Steve Smith and Labuschagne. So
yes.
this can happen. Still, some things can happen on the bowling side, but it'll be very unlikely. But it's
Very
cricket, right?
unlikely.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, in fact, it was all Steven Smith and Labuschagne because
Yeah,
they together scored like pretty much all the runs that
correct.
Australia scored in that day. So it was just
Yeah.
crazy. But that thing happens. But yeah, it's going to take another miracle
Yeah.
to win. Because the draw looks like a miracle in Sydney, so you can understand that. And with more people injured and Ashwin gone, everybody gone, like Bumrah gone, it's gone crazy right now. So
Correct.
I won't even blame at all India as long as India goes out there and does the same thing, just fight it out, man. Otherwise, even with the best team, when a best team was coming to Australia, we were like, they're not going to beat Australia, and but they've put up a brave fight after what
Correct.
happened on that day in the first test,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they won the second test in Melbourne, and then how they performed here was just it's been incredible. So no matter
We
what happens,
literally
unless they
beat Australia with 10 people in the second test, because Umesh also got injured in the second
oh
inning. He
yeah,
didn't bowl at
absolutely.
all.
Absolutely. So it's been crazy. So
Yeah.
as long as India doesn't completely capitulate or something very weird happens, people will always remember this series as something that just India performed really, really brave. And yeah, because it'll be a pity, because what will happen if India really capitulates and match gets over in third day or something like that, then that's exactly what everybody will remember.
Yeah,
People will
correct,
forget
correct.
everything else. People are like, oh my God. And they will remember Australia lifting the trophy, and we were like, oh yeah, we're the best. We're just like, you guys suck. And how Shiraz is not meant for India anymore, blah, blah, blah. So, things like that. People suddenly start judging, and then whosoever new bowler will come, people like, Kuldeep is so shit. He came in the last match and he destroyed everything. Couldn't field, couldn't bowl, couldn't bat. It was just so bad. Kuldeep is like, you should have played Prithvi. His career is already over.
Yeah.
Oh, I do not want to see Prithvi come back, man. Please don't come back. Please no more
It'll be
Prithvi.
bad for him as well, right? Because he'll poor guy will be under so much pressure himself.
Mitchell Stark would be so happy. He'll be like, he hasn't taken like a wicket in the first over since Prithvi and all these people left. He's
Right,
like,
correct.
what is this Sydney stupid shit? Bring him back. He was like, bring him back. Bring Prithvi. I want Prithvi. He's like probably like hooting for him completely. Like, please bring Prithvi back. I love Prithvi. He gets me going. Like,
Probably
everybody
is,
wants Prithvi to come in.
He has
Everybody
hired
wants Prithvi to come.
Cobb from Inception movie to put that thought inside Ravi Shastri's mind.
I think it was already put in their mind before the Test match series started, so they
Yeah,
already
correct.
screwed up their head, and then they now realize that this is what is happening. What is happening? I think that joke was like I thought it was like he was in the team. I thought there was some joke. I think there was some
Yeah.
logistical error. And then next thing you know, he's not in the team. Then he scores badly. I was like, no, he scored badly in the warm-up matches. Nothing's gonna happen. Then he gets selected. Who on earth has ever gotten selected after that such a bad performance? Like
Yeah.
back to back for the last like entire year. But that's Prithvi, man. People love Prithvi. He's not even somebody's son, but I'm pretty sure there's something happening in between that we don't know about. So there
Yeah.
is something. There is those illegitimate sons of the great people. So something is happening. So yeah,
Controversy.
yeah. On that note, before I choke completely on all this smoke that we have here, it's just crazy. So yeah, let's see what happens. Match is starting as you're watching this thing, and match is about to start.
Yeah.
You can put your bets on as well if you like. I think betting legally is illegal in India, but which is legal everywhere else. So most of the countries, most of the first
It's
world
not
countries. at
betting,
least.
it's gaming.
So-
That's the
It's gaming,
the
yeah, it's
legal term.
gaming. So you can still bet online internationally also, as long as you have
Yeah.
some kind of PayPal account or something like that, I believe. So that should work as well. I am not encouraging you to bet, but if you really think that India can win, if you genuinely believe that, put money on them, some small money, and there's a huge return on that 7.5. That is one of the betting companies are doing that, but
Correct.
that will be pretty much standard. So because they go out with the median.
Yeah.
So however it's coming through. All right. On that note, take care. Like and subscribe if you like,
Yep.
and keep enjoying. I'm in Delhi, so it's nice and wintry. If you are somewhere else, enjoy the weather there. Australia, I think it's nice and hot, and the Brisbane is going to be nice as well. Pretty good weather. So take care. See you next time.
Yep.
Bye
Bye-bye.
now. Bye bye.